the back half of the course mark, that's a tough place to pass anyway. So that I'm not too concerned about. So that's good feedback from Davey Hamilton, and I think that's positive for this weekend.
Just about 6 minutes remaining in this session, Graham. Rahal goes to P1, Newgarden, Castro Neves, Rossi, and Power, your top 5 here as preparations continue for the doubleheader weekend, the Detroit Grand Prix.
Hi, I'm Mario Andretti. To promote the Firehawk Indy 500 tire, Firestone asked me to describe what it feels like to win the world's biggest race on Firestone tires. I would say it feels like vroom, 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 ba-dum, boom, bum, 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 boom, boom, bum, bum. And that's pretty much it.
Whatever you drive a Firestone.
Graham Rahal continues to show the fast way around. 1:15.333. We're watching the 98 machine of Alexander Rossi, and very seldom when they come off of the turn do we see a lot of stability in the rear of that race car, talking about that bumpiness. You ever find yourself getting distracted when you're out there calling that complex from 7 through 11, because you're right there on the river, and especially if it's a nice day, I mean, the watercraft, it makes for a spectacular view for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. From where I'm at, to my right is, of course, Windsor, Ontario, across the river, and then obviously the spectacular side of that portion of the racetrack. It's a very technical part of the racetrack, and that lead down to turn number 7, as we talked about before the break, it's one of the best passing places on this racetrack, as well as getting down into turn 3 as well. But it is fun to watch the rear suspensions on these cars, the driver's hands, moving back and forth. You want these cars as planted to the racetrack as possible, but on these street circuits, you just don't have that luxury very often. And it is fun to see these the technical aspects, Mark, of these race cars as they bounce around Belle Isle.
And we have said it before. We'll say it again. I think this is a prime example. You stop and think about the skill set that it takes to master the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in that 2.5-mile oval. And then all of a sudden you have to hit the reset button and rely on a totally different skill set, not one but 2 times throughout the course of this weekend. I don't know in motorsports that there is a truer champion than the champion of the Verizon IndyCar Series.
There's a look at our fastest driver so far, Graham Rahal, making his way around Belle Isle. A different look. Of course, Steak and Shake was the primary sponsorship for that car for the Indianapolis 500. Turn for Troops, a great initiative as Graham Rahal and Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan, and United Rentals are raising some money for these full-body, mechanical suits to help our veterans get back on their feet. So good to see that paint scheme this weekend. Let's check in, though, on pit lane with Dave first.
Yeah, here with Kyle Moyer, of course, helps call the shots for the reigning Verizon IndyCar Series champion, Simon Pagenaud, currently 11th in this practice session right now. Scott Dixon has spun out on the race course, but he looks like, take a look. Yep, there's Dixon. Red flag, is that right, boys? Red flag conditions here at the as practice rolls on. A quick conversation with Kyle Moyer, who again calls the shots for Simon Pagenaud. You guys had a very interesting Indy 500, didn't you?
You can call it interesting. I call it a bummer. It just wasn't our day all day long. We fought to get up front, and we got hit in the back, and that caused a drag, so we sort of fell to the back.
If they're going to bring Simon Pagenaud back here on pit road, how quickly, Kyle, can you switch now from Indy 500 mode to, hey, let's go after another championship?
Well, winning the championship's our number one priority now. Has been for a while. I mean, Indy's its own. Now that's over with. So, yeah, we're back concentrating on the championship. So we switched gears back to where we were, try to get points the best we can, get back into this top 5 that we had going, and I think if we can finish in the top 5 the rest of the season and a couple more wins, we'll probably be able to handle it.
For Simon, how comfortable is he now back on these roads and streets, and this is his forte, obviously?
Yeah, you say it's his forte, but I'll remind you we did win Phoenix, so. Yeah, so, we're getting the ovals figured out. And, to win a championship in IndyCars, you got to be good on everything, super speedways, ovals, short ovals, street courses, road courses. And, he's there now. You know, he got there like last year for sure, if not the year before. You know, you got Helio teaching him. You got, you know, Rick Mears helping out, you know. So he got everybody helping him get better, and now he's there.
Not to take anything away from Phoenix, but he is